gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our admin who received this message. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. It is a story from our dear brother who is saying that he is from Nigeria, currently staying in Lagos, but is always traveling, and he says that his favorite hunting ground is South Africa. Can you just imagine? He's saying that he is a 3-meter python, a snake that sleep with the girls that he dates. The message reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a man who is currently staying here in Lagos in my country. I live a life that is filled with darkness. I live a life that no one can even escape. I live a life that is more like a prison, and it's more like you have to enjoy. You are forced by these gods to enjoy this life that you'll be living. So for years, I have been involved in rituals that have brought me power. These rituals, they've brought me power, money, and everything that I once thought that I wanted. It was all because of my uncle. My uncle was someone who used to do a lot of these rituals, and in the family they were dying a lot. Soon after my mom had passed away, my uncle then looked at me whilst we were busy burying my mother, and he then came towards the place where I was, and he told me that everything was going to be okay. He said, son, oh son, do not worry, for everything is going to be okay. You will be returning with me from the village to the city. I was excited, even though I had lost my own mother, because our uncle, we could not see him at all the times. Here and there, he will just send some food parcels, or you will bring the food parcels, and you will just give those food parcels to my mom without ever getting out of the vehicle, and then he would reverse and return back to the city. Now the thought of going to live with him in the city at his big mansion, like I had been told that my uncle had a very big mansion in the city, I was more than excited. Whilst we were driving to the city, he just made a small hints as to what we were going to be doing in the city. These were all about rituals and sacrifices. When he said sacrifices, I thought that since he was a Christian and his wife was also a devoted Christian, so he meant this, the type of sacrifices, and we would be praying. But he then gave me wealth, but the wealth came at a price, and I have to pay with other people's lives. And sometimes I do feel guilty. That is why I am always on my alcohol, because when I am sober, I am haunted by the things that I do. And even when I want to confess, I feel as if there will be a spirit that will be watching over me, telling me not to confess. So I own a 3-meter python, a snake that was handed down to me by one of the chief priests who used to assist my uncle. So this is not an ordinary python. It is more like a demonic thing. It is bound to me through a ritual. I was introduced to this by my uncle. We went to a powerful occultist, and I was then given that same process, that same promise that he was given when he went to that same occultist. I was going to be given money, a lot of money. I was told that even if you spend so much money, $1 million in a day, your money will never be finished. The things that you will be buying, those will be the things that will be finished. But as your money will be like a river that will be ever flowing until the day that your charms are going to expire. Yes, everything that I am doing, it is an expiry date. I was made to do some terrifying rituals, slaughtering a chicken and drinking the fresh blood of that chicken. I was then given some powder, and after I had mixed the powder with water, I was then told to drink. When I had finished drinking, that was when I was told that I had been given some human remains. They had gone to the grave, and then they had dug up a skeleton, and they had removed their hand, crushed their hand, and they burned it. And then the ashes that I had mixed with the water, those were the remains of another man. And when I wanted to vomit, I was told that if I was going to vomit, then I had to do the process all over and over again. So that was when I was handed down that snake. So this snake, it is the one that I use for my rituals. It has to sleep with the women that I date. At first, when I was told that this snake, it will be sleeping with the women that I'll be dating, I did not even fully understand as to how a snake can get the chance to sleep with a woman. But now, with everything that I have seen, I now do understand. So after this python sleep with a woman that I will be dating, this woman, she will start to have sort of like an infection. The woman will start to suffer, and the woman will be suffering from horrible burning sensations inside their wombs. Then sometimes they do come to me crying in pain, begging me to give them money to help them so that we can go to the doctors. To the doctors, I don't mind, but I make sure that I avoid going with them to any spiritualist, because I will be scared that the spiritualist will tell them that I am the one who is the source of all of their problems. And within 2 weeks, each and everyone, once I give them this type of a disease, that person will die. But the catch to that is that when I have sacrificed a woman, I have to give her enough money. This is the money that will be used on her funeral. It has happened more times than I can even count. They don't even know that I am responsible. They trust me. Since I am a handsome man, they fall for me, and I let the python have them. The python, it is like it feeds on their soul, and in return, I have to stay wealthy. I have watched them as they will be withering away, consumed by the pain that I would have caused in their lives. It happens every time, and each and every time when it happens, I feel less human. The first few times I told myself that it was just part of the price that I had to pay to live the life that I want. But now the guilt that I feel sometimes, especially when I am sober, that guilt, it is just too much. I keep on asking myself the reason as to why I am doing the things that I am doing, because as for money, I have made enough money. I have slept with the most beautiful women, some of them after sleeping with her, you'll even ask yourself if this is an angel or what, but still I have sacrificed those women. Sometimes when I am sober, when I try to take a nap, it's like I'll start to count like how many women that I have sacrificed so far. When I try to stop myself, it will be like my brain, it will be on autopilot, counting and counting and counting all the women that I have slept with, saying that A, I sacrificed here, B, I did not, C, I sacrificed here. So it is not a nice place to be. Once I keep on counting, sometimes I can even cry. When it happens, then I just get out of bed and I go and I grab my wine and I drink myself until I am drunk, like totally drunk. I can even go on a drinking spree all alone, locked up in my house for days and days, without eating anything, just trying to choke up my brain so much that I won't be able to think properly. I have it all. I have the money, the luxury, the women, but it is like meaningless. I can't take back the lives that I have destroyed. I don't know how much longer I can live with this burden. Every new woman who comes into my life is another death sentence. And the worst part is I cannot stop. For this snake, for it to give me money, it needs more of these women. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister who received this message. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.